Hello, my YouTube family and friends. I pray that everyone is having a beautiful, blessed Saturday in the name of Jesus, in the mighty name of Jesus. And if you have not said it already, let's say it together. Thank you, Jesus, for another day. It is indeed a blessing to be alive, y'all. Y'all, I want to tell you, God is so good. He's so good. I'm back in my car. It's been, we had to go take it to get looked at. It's been gone from me a few days. You know, I had that, I don't even want to call it a wreck. It was just a fender bender, I guess is what you call it, because God allowed us, y'all. My daughter, you know, I told you it hit on her side, but if you could see what it did to this car, which was almost literally nothing. It was just all God. It was all God. So it's like he had the car, us in his hand, his mighty hands, and he didn't allow us to get hurt. And we didn't get no neck injury, because it was almost like a bump. That's what I was telling my coworkers, and they were like, the coworker, she said another word, but I was like, it literally felt like a juggle, you know, like how you juggling a ball. I mean, it was just like a little juggle. That's what it felt like, but it didn't harm us, or you know, it's just so many things I could just praise God for about, you know, everything regarding that accident. And I don't even really want to call it an accident. It was just, you know, I just wasn't paying attention. But you know, God kept me. God kept me. He kept me, and He's still keeping me. He's keeping all of us. But I just thank Him. I really do. And that's my constant prayer, is when we out here on these dangerous highways and byways, that, you know, we just keep us, Lord. Just keep us protected, you know, from the evil one. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, things that we go through, it ain't all our, you know, it ain't all about, you know, we say, well, that was the enemy, or, you know, in my case, I just wasn't paying attention. And, you know, I'm not ashamed to own up to that. That's just a fact. It's just a fact. I was not paying attention, and I wasn't talking. I wasn't doing anything like that. I just wasn't paying attention, because it was real super early that morning. And you know, if you don't know about it, go look at the video. I was talking about what happened, but I'm just thankful. And we just got the car back, because you know, I had to look at it for estimates and all that for the damage, but it's literally no damage. You know, it's hardly any. I mean, it's no damage really. On the passenger side, it's just like a little, a dent. It's just, I mean, it's very small. You almost need a magnifying glass to see it. That's how good God is, y'all. That's how mighty His hand is in protecting us and making sure we don't get hurt or anything. That's just further lets me know how much He has me and my children in the palm of His hand. So I ain't got no complaints, you know. It caused me to be more alert. I feel like I was alert, you know, before, but I'm even more now. Because somebody had said that, my coworker, my son, or somebody, they said you're gonna be even more. I think it was my coworker said, you're gonna be even more alert now. I said, that's right, I am. You know, because I'm just so mindful. But I was sort of laughing about it with my coworker, because, you know, after a while, you're just like, okay, I ain't gonna beat myself up about it no more. I'm gonna be real. You know, be honest. That's why I shared a video about that last week. Be honest, tell the truth. You know, if you know it was your fault. I know it was my fault. Yeah, it was my fault. I stand up to that, you know. But don't be lying and saying, well, I don't know what, you know. Why would I say that? I don't know what happened. That car came out of nowhere. No. Because see, what's going to happen there, you're going to get yourself, instead of you believing that you're going to get yourself out of something, you digging the hole even deeper. You're going even deeper in that hole, and it's called the lying hole. And you don't want to, you know, you don't even want to be in that situation where you're lying, you know, and you hindering other people's progression, you know, you know, you say I come on this channel and I say you know, I want to live for the Lord and I want to do this for the Lord, do that for the Lord, but yet I'm lying, you know, and God know I'm lying. And the thing about Jesus, it's a revealing. You know how they had a gender reveal? God will have the revealing the light. What is it? He'll do a revealing on you, and you'll be like, how did that get exposed? And then you'll be saying to yourself, I should have told the truth. You know, I should have been more honest about that. But you don't. That's what I'm saying. You don't ever want to be in that situation where you should have told the truth and you did not. You know, and then you're found out, because then after that, you know, you labeled as a liar. And that's the thing I have. You know, that's what, you know, society teaches us, that, you know, you don't. I'm gonna wait on this car, y'all, because this car bagging out. I don't know if they straightening up or they leaving, but I'm gonna wait, because I need to straighten up too. But yeah, you don't want to be deemed, you don't want to be labeled as a liar. So just tell the truth. Just tell the truth, and you'll be, you know, God know what happened. You know, he know it. He was there. He saw everything that happened that early that Wednesday morning when me and her was almost to the airport. So, you know, why would I just lie about that? And, you know, like I said, oh yeah, I don't know where that car came from. Straighten up, y'all. I still feel like I'm not parked right. I like to park right, because on the right hand side of me, it's a handicap space here. And, you know, you don't want people to try to, you know, because I've been in that situation. You know, they trying to park and they don't even have enough room to park because somebody else, you know, in the other spaces didn't park right. So I'm very mindful of that. I'm very mindful. I try, you know, and then my son, he'll say, Mama, like when we at home, when I park at home, he said, Mama, you didn't park right. But I'm inside the lines, but he's saying, you know, how the car just kind of be swerved in real, like it's not straight. The wheels are not straight. And I was like, well, but I'm not causing anybody else to park wrong. So that's all that matters. But he's referring to the tires are not straight. You know how it's going this way. And I said, it's okay. Okay, but I'm not over the line, so that's all that matters. But there's a lot of people going in and out of. Yeah, I don't know what it is about this store. Well, I can't talk because I come here every weekend, so it's just always crowded. And I don't know if it's because people just, maybe they treat this like because some people find a store that they like and that's where they shop for their clothes at instead of going to the mall. So maybe that's what's going on. Because I noticed in the checkout line, they always have like a lot of people buy clothes out of here. Like I'm just coming to get something to wear to church, but cause I got plenty of clothes. But it's some people, they come here to get, you know, stuff to wear to work, and so maybe I guess that's what's going on. But I'm like, gosh, it's just always crowded. But they don't, like I said, they don't have enough help here because the line is just always long. And that other, well, it's like that too. And then I think about it, it's like that at the other Ross too. The one I can, you know, they don't really have good selections. It's like that there too. So I'm like, okay. But like I said, this woman coming here every Saturday. But I'm coming to find me something to wear to church. I love their dresses. And to me, this location got a way better selection than the other one. Way better. That's why I come here. But, so yeah, just tell the truth, y'all. You know, be honest. And but I'm happy to have my car back. Like I said, I think we had to take it to get the estimate. We took it, let's see, today's Saturday. So I didn't have it yesterday, Thursday. I think we took it Wednesday. It was Wednesday evening. So, yeah, got it back. And So God be the glory. He gonna get the glory out of this situation. But yeah, I've been bragging about that because I was telling my co-workers and I was telling, you know, just other people I've been sharing about what happened, people at church. I said, it was my fault. You know, I can't, you know, I can't lie and blame it on nobody else but myself. So they was like, wow, you know, I'm glad y'all okay. I said, me too. So yeah, I'm gonna go in here, y'all. And I got maybe 2 or 3 videos I'm gonna upload once I get settled back home today. But I have a birthday celebration. The gentleman, he's 80 years old, so it's his birthday celebration. So I'm gonna go to that today. I'm just gonna kind of show, you know, pop in, pop out, because it's more so it's gonna be at, I think, at a clubhouse. So like she said on the invitation, said don't bring nothing, you know, don't bring no gifts. That your presence is the gift is enough. So I'm gonna go there. I really want it. That's been in my spirit to go to that. So it's from 2 to 4. So I'm gonna probably around 3. That's when I'm gonna pop in, and I just want to, you know, show my support, and then do my other little stuff that I normally do. I've given up shopping for groceries. I'll just do Instacart now because that just gets us just what we need. So that's what I'll do. But I really don't need anything. This is my highlight of my Saturday now, getting me something to wear to church. And I just really like doing that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I may, well, I gotta go to, I'm gonna go to the Dollar Tree, and then I need to go to Walgreens as always. And I may go by Dunkin'. I want me some chai tea. But yeah, for the most part, I don't plan to be out. That's my biggest thing is going to the to showing my face for that, because that's 2 to 4. So I may try to go more so on the, you know, when it starts than towards the end, because so I can go ahead, you know, and just do what I need to do there. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, but I'll be back. Okay, YouTube family and friends, I'm back. Y'all, I don't know why I keep doing that to myself. But I like their clothes in there. That's why I keep coming back to this Ross. But it's getting worse. Instead of getting better, it's getting worse. And these people, they see you bagging up, they just walk into your car. Tell y'all, we gotta keep praying for this world. People, it's like they just, I don't know, they do what they want to do sometimes. But anyway, yeah, I was in the line, and so I went in, and God able me to get the dress. I seen right away. It's usually always, the dress is always right there. So I'm like, yes. So it literally takes me just a few minutes. You know, I'm in and out. But then, as I was about to get in the, as I'm going to look, you know, look for the dress, because it's not too far, you know, from coming in the store. The dresses are right there, down that little aisleway. But I'm like, oh my gosh, the line was already then all the way to the back of the store. So I'm like, gosh, every time I come in here, it's like this. And so, but I should be used to that by now. I look like it's from the storm. So anyway, I'm like, okay, whatever. But usually the line goes back, you know, it goes down pretty fast. So that's never an issue. But it's just, you know, you got to stand there for a little bit. But what was I about to say? Oh, today I noticed that they had more help. You know, it was sort of funny to me. I was like, what? The young lady, she like, she may be in her 20s, late 20-ish. She was a cashier today, and she's normally at the security. So I'm like, oh, so I don't know, maybe she ain't security. Maybe she got a dual job, I don't know. But she was working the cash. She was working the cash register today. She normally, when I first started going in there, she was the security guard. But I noticed, and then I think she was there. She wasn't there last Saturday because it was an older gentleman. But it seemed like it was a few weekends before that. she was you know, still security. So I don't know if she applied for that job and got that or whatever. But she saying that, you know, she was doing good. She was doing a good job. She was moving the line. So I was like, what? So it was a young man at the door, a security guard today, because I had never seen him in there. But yeah, it's just, that's the only part I don't like, is that standing in line. And then there was a family behind me, and I should have used that time to minister, but I only do that when the Holy Spirit leads me to do it. So, because you know, because you know, if you're not doing something, and if you're not being led to do something, you should not do it, because there could be repercussions behind it. So you have to be mindful. We're living in an evil time. So anyway, but God is great. But yeah, it was this mom. I think it was a mom and two young girls. It looked like they were they appeared to be teenagers. They may have been older, but they looked like they were teenagers. But they just kept bumping into me, and I bumped into, like my purse bumped into one of the daughters, and I said, "Oh, excuse me." And, you know, she didn't say anything. But then it was just a lot going on. They were buying a bunch of stuff, and which is fine. Do what they want to do. But I was just like, "What's going on?" And they were, you know, but as the line was, you know, we were coming to, you know, I was getting ready to pay for my, because they were right behind me. As we were getting ready to pay for our item, like they were just, I don't know if they were just anxious or they were just ready to go, but they just kept doing a lot of movement behind me and bumping into me, and I was just like, whatever. But you know, sometimes I sort of don't feel like that's what they were doing, but you know, sometimes people do stuff trying to get a rise out of you to see if you're gonna react or something, because you know, they watch, these kids watch these TikTok videos, they just always, you know, they're constantly on social media, so they looking, you know, trying to see if they, you know, whatever. But I'm like, sweetie, you're not gonna get no rise out of me. So if you're doing that intentionally or unintentionally, it don't even matter, because either way, I'm still gonna be nice to you and whatever. So I just ignored it, and I don't believe they were doing it on purpose, but that just comes from teaching our children to be mindful of whoever's around us. You know, I teach my children that, and I have even been in the store with them, my daughters, and I'm like, you know, be careful. You know, watch out for that lady, or watch out for that person or that man, whoever, that child. You know, I'm just always being a mama, you know, wanting to set a good example, because, you know, a lot of times, you know, people just don't care. People don't care, and they, you know, they bump into you. They don't care if they say excuse. You know, it don't even cross their mind to do that, because they're like, I just did what I did. Why I gotta apologize for it? And excuse me is not. It's maybe a form of an apology, but it's not really an apology. It's just saying, you know, oh, my bad, you know, my bad, I didn't mean to do that or whatever. But I guess it is sort of a light apology. But yeah, that's just how I was raised. You know, I just can't detour from how I was raised or whatever. But yeah, they were just, like I said, maybe it was just they was young. But the mama, I think that was their mama, she kept, she was talking to them as though they were her sisters. I guess, I'm assuming that was their mom. She looked like that she was their mom. But they were just going back and forth, you know, talking or whatever, and kikiing and behind me, but they weren't paying attention to what they were doing. It's like I said, they were constantly bumping into me, which is okay. But they weren't bumping into me, they were bumping into my purse. But I was just like, whatever. I'm just in this store just for a few more minutes, so it don't even matter. But see, that's what that comes from, that long line. You know, like I said, people, and I always like, when I'm waiting in line there, I always look at the expressions on the people's faces, and the people, like, you can just see it. Everybody got the same expression, like, you know, why every time I come in here, it's a line. It's almost like that. That's the look they give. It's giving that. But I'm like, what is going on? Why is it always? I mean, but flow there. But like I said, it could not even be, that it's about the long line. It's just people. It's always a lot of people in there. And no matter what time I go, like today, I'm actually early going in there. I don't usually go this early. Sometimes it's more so towards 2 or 3 o'clock or something like that. It's always the same. It's always the same. So I think Ross, they open like at 9. Maybe I need to try that, but I don't even be up. I don't be out of the house most of the time. Not that early. So I don't know, y'all. I'm always baffled by that. I'm trying to figure out what is going on there. But like I said, maybe it's just like myself. A lot of people just like going in there. And I noticed, like today, it's hardly anybody over there in the women's dresses. They don't look over there. They always over there where the jeans at, because I guess like I said, they looking for something to wear to work, or maybe to wear out, or maybe that could be what it is too. People going in there to try to find something, maybe they club or something and go out. I don't know. I don't like to assume, but like I said, I really like going in there, but and then also it seems like when I first start going in there, it was not that crowded. Now that I think about that, when I first started going in there, it wasn't like that. It wasn't. I don't recall it being like that. So I don't know. Maybe since school done started back, because I think I first started going in there in the summer. So maybe since school has started back, like I said, their clothes are pretty inexpensive, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. People just going in there getting school stuff for their children, or clothes, or I don't know, y'all. But yeah, I just sort of thought that was funny. I said, what is the security guard? What? She's a cashier now. What's really going on? So maybe she was just interested in, wanting to maybe do that job or whatever. But yeah, she was doing a really good job. So okay. So yeah, again, I don't have a lot to do today. I'm just taking y'all along with me. I don't even have any mail to pick up today. I didn't get a notification, so I don't have to pick up any mail. And I'm gonna do the little grocery haul. A few items I will get. I'll do that when I get back home. And my daughter, my college student daughter, she texts me. And she trying to encourage her to, get, which she does pretty well with that. She's very she's a saver. She's mindful of her money, but try to encourage her to, get not to DoorDash so much, because it's short-lived, and I have to remind myself that too, because I just did it last night. But I'm gonna have to take another break from Culver's, y'all. I had taken a long break from them, but it just ain't the same. It don't taste the same like it did when we first moved here. And maybe, like I said, it could be just I've gotten it so much that it's just it don't lost this appeal for me, for my belly. But yeah, it ain't the same. It just ain't the same. It don't have the same good taste like it used to have. Cause I remember I was so excited about getting that when we first moved here. Trying it. And I distinctly remember me and my daughters, I think we ordered the food, and then we just sat in the car and ate it, and we were like, I was like, this is so good. And it reminded us so much of Captain D's. And then I remember I was telling my daughters, I said, I was talking about my son, I said, we gotta let him know, my youngest son, I said, we gotta let him know about this place, because and he ain't crazy. I don't even think he really liked fish like that, but we just wanted him to know, because they sell burgers too. So we just wanted him to know about it, because I was just so excited that Saturday. And then you know, from there. But even when I first tried it, I didn't eat there a lot. But then as I was, you know, when we moved in with the lady from church, and even prior to that, you know, I started eating there more. But at first I wasn't eating there a lot. At first I wasn't. But yeah, I like it. I like their custard. You know, I like the only thing, like I said, that I always get there and I just really like is their fish. But I was watching a YouTube video, and the lady was saying, which I'm not crazy about cheese, so I don't know how I would like that. But it's called, I think it's cheddar. I'm trying to remember the name. She held up the box of fish. It's cheddar. It's Red Lobster is the brand, and I'm assuming you can buy it at Walmart or wherever. I'm gonna look it up when I do my Instacart today when I get back home, because I'm gonna see if the grocery store that I frequent, I'm gonna see if they have it. But anyway, it looks like it's just, I don't know if the fish is coated with cheese or the cheese is inside the fish. I don't like cheese. I don't like cheese like that. So I don't know if I even like that. But I was like, okay, it's like a different type of fish, but I think it said Cheddar Bay something fish. I think it was another name describing the fish. So I'm gonna look that up and see. But like I said, I don't even when I go to get the Filet-O-Fish from McDonald's, that meal, the combo, I don't, they put fish on, I put cheese on that fish, but I don't, most of the time I take it off. Sometimes I'll eat it, go ahead and eat it, but most of the time I won't, because I don't like cheese like that. Now the only time I can remember when I really, when I was eating meat, hamburgers and all that, I loved the Quarter Pounder cheeseburger. And y'all, I don't know if y'all remember, but I remember they had it was making a lot of people sick or something, because I remember a lady at somebody I knew, she got real sick from it. And then y'all, that was just the grace of God. I had literally that's when I was eating meat. That's when we were living with the lady from I'm trying to think, was we living with her then, or had we moved out? I just remember I was eating, I think we were still living there, because I remember I had ordered that on DoorDash, the quarter pounder with cheese, because I hadn't eaten it in a long time, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna get that. But that was when it was making people sick. It was something, I can't remember the details of it, but it went away. It faded away after a little while. But it was here in Colorado, and then it was other places too. But it was something, I forgot what it was. It was the meat or whatever. I don't know. I can't remember. But I just know it made some people sick. But I remember the lady who, and she no longer works with me, but she don't work there anymore. But I remember she was saying it had made her sick, and I can't remember if I told her or I even shared with her that I had just had one. I don't remember if I told her that or not. I can't remember, but it made her real sick, because she said that particular day she just decided she just wanted a cheeseburger, quarter pounder cheeseburger, and she stopped and got one. I remember that was just God, y'all. He kept me, because I literally had got the combo and everything, and it didn't make me sick. It didn't. So that was God's hand up once again protecting me, from my ignorance. But at the time when that was going on, I didn't even know. I didn't even hear about that till after the fact. But I started thinking, like, I just had one of those. I had the combo and everything, but like I said, it didn't make me sick. So I was like, okay. So I made it here to Goodwill, y'all. Lamont. I just love going in here. I really do. I do. I'm going. What I was saying about my daughter, my youngest daughter. So I've been encouraging her to, the DoorDash stuff is short-lived. So I always tell her, it's nothing wrong with that. Getting her something, and she don't do it all the time. But when she was here, that's all they wanted to do. And because, it was something quick and easy, and I want to just, satisfy my hunger right away. But I was telling her, I said, for this, sophomore year, I said, you get you some, which she does it. But I'm going to send her some money so she can get a few things from Target. Because I told her, I said, get you some, she got a fridge and all that. But get you stuff where you can fix you stuff, because she got a room to herself, so she can chef it up. She can cook all type of good stuff and fix up some good stuff or whatever, eat some good stuff, and she ain't got to worry about nobody, smelling. Well, no, whatever she do, it's just her. That's a blessing. So I was just telling her, be mindful of your money. Because that's what I've been wanting to, asking the Lord to help me with. So, stretch that money, do a Target haul, do where you can get you something, noodles or whatever. And, she got the dining hall is below her. He just really blessed her. He blessed her last year, but especially this year, because I said, wow, she got a dining hall right below her. So she can go down there and get stuff or whatever. So I'm going to send her something, so she can get her what she like or whatever from Target. But just trying to encourage her, that DoorDash, that's $20 a pop, and then you eat that and then you're hungry 2 hours later. It's good when you're ordering it and you eat it, but it goes away fast. And when you can have chips and dip and stuff in your room, and you can have just for a week, if it's nothing but, I told her you can have stuff to eat for a whole week, and we could just do it like that. So I'm gonna figure out something on that, just some stuff that because last year I not DoorDash, but I Instacarted her from the grocery store in Chicago, in the city she's at. And so it was delivered to her because she told me what she liked. So it was cereal, milk, stuff like that. Because I'm trying to, like I said, she don't really like eating in that dining hall, because she said a lot of times the food is not good. So I said, yeah, I get that. I get that. But I said, also we can do other things to, stretch our money. So y'all, I'll be back. I'll probably take you all in here with me. Y'all see my little bag back there. I always, I don't know if I brought my bags. I don't know if they're in the trunk or not. I'm gonna check. But I need to, my little bags, plastic bags. But my address is in there. Y'all see my address tomorrow when I go to church. But so yeah, I'm still debating on whether or not I'm gonna continue to go. God he really wanted me to go to the women's prayer meeting last Sunday. So I do want to continue to go there, but I just, he really wanted me to go last Sunday. So I'm going to continue to pray about that. The only thing, like I said, y'all, it's just a lot of stuff that, I don't really, I guess, care for. A lot of stuff that I just noticed, it ain't to my liking, a lot of stuff, but it ain't for me to like, I just have to adapt to a lot of stuff. Because this stuff was already there before I came to Colorado. But they have the prayer meeting, women's prayer group, is after service. And it seems like it should be before, but it's after. And it's always for the whole, it's for an hour or so before, it's during the second service. That's the whole thing. So, which is fine, But yeah, I don't know. I just like, I don't know, I guess I'm just so accustomed to how how things are or whatever, or how I like them to be. But yeah, I'm just like, because, you already don't have your praise and worship, you already, which that's an extra, that's an add-on. There's nothing wrong with that, getting some more of the Lord. But I'm just like, it's after, worship service. And, back when we were in Tennessee, that's usually either on Wednesday night, or that's through the week, or that's, it could be early in the morning or something. But I don't know. It seems like it should be before service. I don't know. Because, when the spirit is already high, and then, you do that. But I don't know. It's just me. But I'm going to ask the Lord, what he want me to do. Because, You know, I enjoyed it last Sunday, but it's just the only thing about that, you know, and then, you know, when church's worship service is over, then you're going to it's strictly prayer, which is fine. It's fine. I love praying. But, yeah, I don't know. I'll just ask the Lord what he want me to do. He'll let me know. He'll let me know. One thing I wanted to look for in this Goodwill is I want to get me a sweater, a black sweater. So if I can find one, because it ain't real cold yet, so they may not be, you know, having price too high. So I wanted to find me a black sweater, you know, like a long one. Not, it's a certain kind I'm always looking for. So I'm gonna see, can I find that in here, and then we don't need anything else. I always like to go look at their furniture. They be having some good furniture, y'all. I love looking at their furniture. But yeah, I'm trying to think. That's pretty much it's pretty much all I need out of here. All of us got plenty of clothes, so I got where I don't even really, you know, really look for that. But this sweater right here, I have quite a few sweaters, but like this sweater, it's a mud sweater. See, it's a mud sweater, but this one is medium. But I like my sweaters. I like them large. This don't shrunk because I don't washed it so much. But I think this one was sort of long. I like them sort of hangy. So when I wear them to church or wherever, you know, they hanging off on me just a little bit. I don't like them when they tight on me. So I'm gonna go in here, y'all. I will talk to y'all when I get out. favorite store, Goodwill. It's a little, it's not hardly anybody here today, but I guess because it's almost 2 o'clock here. But I was just talking to a lady in the, I'm just looking at this young lady here. She was in the store. She parked right on the right of me. But she was in the store when I was in the store, and she sort of crossed over, where I was at in the store. I was coming from where the shoes were at, and she was going into that area. She just looked so sad. And pray for her. But yeah, it's just I was talking to the lady. I didn't really see anything. Did get me a sweater. I got me a black sweater. That's really the main thing I was looking for. I like to go in the shoe section because every now and then you can find some pretty gently used shoes. So of course I always wash them, clean them up and whatever. But I ain't no shame in my game. I buy some Goodwill shoes. We used to do it a lot when we was in Tennessee, because we was trying to, especially like that's when we was buying for Easter and different things for church, because we was always at church. So I would be like, tell my late husband, I said, I know I can get me an outfit, and God would always bless me with finding something really nice. I get so many compliments on it. But but now God's blessed me, so I'll just go to a store and get a dress or whatever. Because I tried buying dresses out of this other thrift store, the Ark, but they don't really have a good selection of dresses. The Ark don't. Now Goodwill, they don't really have it either. Their dresses, a lot of those dresses look like they're party dresses and dresses that probably should not be worn outside of the home, because they revealing and all that. So no, I don't wear stuff like that. But yeah, I went in there, like I said, primarily just to find a sweater, and then the Lord allowed me to do that. And then I went in the shoe section, but I didn't really see no shoes. And so whenever I can't find something that I'm sort of kind of looking for, it's like the Lord saying, you don't need nothing. So I just got the sweater and come on out. But when I was checking out, the cashier, she was telling me that she's going to I always like to ask people, excuse me, how their day is. I said, you having a good day? She said, yeah, I'm having a good day. She said it's about to come to an end. And so I said, okay, that's good. And so she said she's going to a comedy show today or tonight or whatever. And so I said, okay, that sounds like fun. And so I was just like, y'all, I just like to ask people what they doing, because I don't do a lot no more. So anymore, or right now, God has me not doing, just doing the basic stuff. But I just like to see what other people doing. So she said, yeah, so I'm going to a comedy show. And she said, I thought I wasn't going to be able to go, because she said she'd been not feeling well all week. And I said, oh, okay. And she said, well, I'm feeling better, so I'm going to go. And so she told me the comedian's name. He's going to be here in Denver. And I'm assuming it's later tonight. But anyway, I was just asking her because I've never been to a comedy show. I've seen them on TV. So I was just asking her, to see what she said about it. So she said, yeah, so it's generally pretty packed. And I know a lot of those comedy shows, they drinking and stuff like that. But, and I think some of them even serve food, but if not all of them. But she said, she noticed it was funny. She said, yeah, he used to come here and say his ticket, once upon a time, his tickets used to be, I think she said $7, and then they're $70. I said, wow. I said, that's a big jump there. I said, that means that they like him now. They really like him. $70 a ticket. And so, which I know some comedians, theirs is much more. But that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So anyway, she said that's where she's going today, or this evening, or whenever she's going. I said, okay, well, I told her, so well, enjoy it. And so, but yeah, she said she thought, realize this light is red. She said that yeah, I don't know if she's going by herself or with somebody, but yeah, she said she's looking forward to it because she said, like I said, she wasn't feeling well before. So I said, okay. So like I said, it's important to me to ask people, to ask them how they're doing and, if they're having a good day and things of that nature, because to me, that matters. People want to feel appreciated. People want to feel, like they mean something in this world. And I always ask the Lord, use me. I'll be the one that will say something to them. I'll be the one that will say hello to them or whatever you want me to say to them. Because, I've shared this before. It's people that work on the job for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, whatever. And nobody ever says anything to them, other than go pick up that box or go do that or go do this, it's just like they just want in the number. But people want to feel like, they matter, And it's a lot of people dealing with depression. It's a lot of people dealing with, just they've been abused. And some of them still getting abused. But, it's just, I don't know. It's just important to me. I'm going to see a yard sale, y'all. Go ahead and see what they got going on. Sometimes when I do this, this is like an older neighborhood. Sometimes when I do this, it's just for ministry because they don't really have, and it's starting to rain now too. But I'm just going to look and see it. If I don't see nothing appealing, I'm not going to even get out the car. But it says, the arrow said this way. But I don't see where the garage sale is. Oh, here it is. It's over here on the left. I was like, if nothing else, I just like talking and looking. That's fun to me. I love it. Let's see if I see anything. Oh, they got a lot of kids stuff. But let's see. I'm gonna stop here. See what she got going on. Like a grandmama, and a granddaughter out here. But I'm just nothing else. I just like to talk. So I'll be back, y'all. Okay, y'all. I'm back. An hour or so later. That was really nice, y'all. The Lord always allowed me to. He always does that. I end up ministering, witnessing, or whatever you want to call it, but this time I actually was able to purchase something because the lady, oh my gosh, it was just like God ordained that visit, and I'm always so thankful. So now I'm always be looking out for yard sales because they're just such a blessing. But she was really super nice. I think she said her and her family, she was older, I think she was older than me, maybe in her 60s, but her husband is a minister, and she was just telling me how they moved here from, I can't remember the state now, y'all. What she told me, that we talked about so much stuff. Well, I was sharing with her, about my testimony. God always want me to share that, so I shared it with her, and it was just such a blessing. And one thing I noticed about her, she has some really nice stuff. I ended up buying y'all probably can see it back there, that comforter. It's a really nice, I'm gonna show it to y'all when I get home, or when I stop. Comforter, what else did I get? A picture, a really nice picture with a boy and a dog on it, but I love the quote that's on it, and that caught my attention. And then I got a flower, decorative, like a flower, artificial flower. It's real pretty. So anyway, yeah, that was really nice. It was so just peaceful talk, and they're believers, her and her husband, and we were just talking about everything. And she said yeah, and she told me when they helped me, her when I got there, her and her granddaughter were, sort of orchestrating the yard sale. And you could tell the little girl, she was just so excited. Children love anything about some money, or you tell them to help with something. Most of them, they love it. But she had some, I really like yard sales that are sort of catch your eye. I love that, because some of yard sales you can tell people just throwing stuff out. They just clean it. It literally should say cleaning out my house sale. Because you can just tell there's no effort put into it or nothing. But it was funny. I was trying to tell her where I live, and maybe God didn't want me to. I can never remember the name of the condos that we live in, Because if I were to say it, then the people, people here, they've been here, they'll know what I'm talking about. But I can never remember. I can never remember it, the name of it. And so anyway, I just told him, I said, we live by the highway. I could never remember the name of those cross streets. But anyway, it was another lady. She came up. She's a friend of the family. She's looking at me like, "Are you sure you live here?" But it's okay. I told him I was sort of still new here, but I gotta make sure I remember that and quit. Not trying to impress nobody, but a lot of people I notice here, they're natives here, and so when you tell them, it's almost it's 3 o'clock. I gotta go to this. I totally forgot about that. It's over at 4. I knew it was. I'm like, that was my whole thing about today. I gotta go to. Thank you, Jesus. Just not thought about that. My whole thing. Oh, let me go back to what I was saying. Sorry. So, a lot of people who've been living here, natives, they know. You can say a street, you can say a landmark or whatever, and they know right away. So that's why that older lady was looking at me like, okay, where do you live in, in that city? So anyway, I got to do better with that, because we've been here 3 years. I should know a little bit more than what I'm claiming to know. But it was a really nice, oh my gosh, it was a nice fellowship, y'all. Just so pleasant. And I was informing her, it was not that it matters, but it was a white family, and I was informing her. I said I said I love everybody, and I said, there's nobody on this earth that I can't get along with, and I mean that. I mean it for everything I have. But we just had the most beautiful conversation, and she was telling me about. I'm gonna pray for her. It's her daughter. I'm pray for her daughter. Her daughter's going through something. She shared with me, and so like I said, I used to be a time when people would share stuff with me, and I'm like, okay, and I just forget about it. But now, it rings so loud in my spirit, because that's what's wrong with the world now. The world teaches you to focus on yourself, focus on what you got going on. And like I said, I even noticed that every Saturday when I go out, I notice that more and more and more. People just focus. There's a limo beside me. Some type of, I don't know if that's a party limo, but it's super long. But anyway, the world teaches you to just focus on yourself. Focus on, you got stuff going on. And you got to get through this. But it's not about that. It's about us being there for one another, and that's why I love these yard sales, because it creates an atmosphere for me. It creates an atmosphere for me to witness about Jesus. And she was a really nice lady, really nice, and beautiful granddaughters. The little girls, they were just so full of energy and helping. Like I said, children, anything about some money or eating, they willing to help you. Y'all, I'll be back. I gotta find out this address where I'm going for the meet and greet and that's not meet and greet, but it's for the couple at our church. It's his 80th birthday. Sort of like it ain't even I don't even think it's a party, but it's like just wishing him well. So I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I'm actually close to it, to where I'm supposed to go. So and it's 2 to 6. I thought it was ended at 4. So yeah, I need to go on and go now, cause so I can go ahead and get that check that off my list. But I'm gonna get me something to drink, some tea from McDonald's right quick, cause my mouth is dry. But because I think on the invite it said they're just gonna have cake and ice cream. It may be more than that, but and I said I was gonna get him a card, but by Walgreens, but I guess I need to do that. I'm gonna get him a card. I'm gonna stop in Walgreens and get a card. I'll be back. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I got me some a sweet tea and just a small fry just to put something on my stomach because I haven't eaten anything and it's 3 o'clock. So, I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna stop and eat this right quick, and then I'm gonna go in this Walgreens and get him a card because I just don't want to go empty-handed. But it says on his on the invite, it says you don't have to say, don't worry about bringing no gift, but I want to at least get a card. And I should have got a card. I should have got a card at the Dollar Tree, but some of those cards are real nice. Because Walgreens, I'm going to spend $5 on one card. So, but yeah, I just got me a tea. I need to get 1 pack of ketchup. And just some fries. That's all I really want right now. It's gonna stop at Chick-fil-A and get my favorite, but their fries are a whole lot better. But just wanted to put some on my stomach because I don't like. When I eat something, have something I've eaten. So I pray y'all are having a beautiful, blessed day. I sure am. It's always a beautiful day when God wake us up. So yeah, that was really a blessing. Me and her talking, and she, I could tell, when I pulled up, I always look, trying to get an idea, and even sometimes, I still get out the car, but I could tell right away that, cause they were saying hey before I even walked up to the house. I knew it was gonna be just beautiful. But this is the comforter. You can't really see it, but it's a queen. I love the pattern. That stood out for me. And then I got, this is my dress from Ross, but I got this right here. I don't know if y'all can see this, but I got this. I thought that was pretty. She has some nice stuff. And then the picture, I have to probably show you the picture later because it's big. But it's a boy and a dog on the picture. But like I said, it's what the picture says. It's a quote at the bottom of it. And it's basically, paraphrasing it, it's saying, be an example for our children. And that just really stood out for me. Because that's what I always strive, ask God for me to be an example for them. But look at the picture, the back of it right there. But I wish I could turn it around. Let's see. She put it this way, so I think so it wouldn't. Yeah, it's kind of heavy, so I'll show it to y'all later. I just don't want to get all the way out the car and stuff. But yeah, she was super nice. It was just such a blessing to talk to her, and just so pleasant and welcoming. She's the type of lady I feel like, that's somebody who she would have been like, come on in here and eat, have dinner with us, at another time, another place. Well, her husband is a pastor, minister. So she was telling me one of the churches, I was just quiet because I was listening, but one of the churches that we visited when we first moved here, her husband used to pastor there. And so I was just listening. And I said, oh. And so I made sure I knew she was talking about the church that we used to go to, because there's 2 churches in their area. And so she confirmed that. She confirmed it for me. Well, I don't know. I forget how long she said they had been there, because I don't remember his face, but that's been excuse me, that's been some years ago when we were at that church, so I don't remember his face. But anyway, we were talking and stuff, and me and her would be talking in between, the people stopping looking at her stuff she was selling at the yard sale. And finally he came. Him and I guess that's another granddaughter. They came back home. So he was real nice. And then the other lady I was referring to, that's a lady that I think a friend of the family or something. She was real nice. But it was just a nice visit. And she said, I feel like, she said, you're just so inspiring. You're so inspiring. And I was like, well, thank you. I said, you've been that way for me too. Well, it was just a blessing. God, y'all, when I tell you, God don't lie. When he tell you, when I seen the sign, I was like, okay. And I started, and it, it's a real nice neighborhood. So that's the second yard sale that he's allowed me to minister at. Because the other one, it's been a while since I've been there. Like maybe a month or so ago. That was a mama and her daughter. I'm trying to think, did I buy anything there? Yeah, I bought something from that one. So. But that was a blessing too. Oh, these fries good. I just got a small one. Sometimes when I get the fries from McDonald's, sometimes, not all the time, but it's the aftertaste. Grease, you taste the grease. If the grease is old or something. But these taste like they're fresh. Tastes good. So yeah, I'm thankful. I really am. Yeah. It's just moments like this that I really appreciate. Yeah. I thank the Lord for. And I was telling her, I said, God had to grow me up, and he's continuing to grow me up. And people, when you tell that to people who, life seems like it's going pretty good. May not be, ain't got a perfect life, but things seem to be going pretty good. And they ain't had no shaking up like that. But I feel like the people he have me to share that with, I feel like he wants them to, it's a reminder. It's a reminder from me to them to appreciate what they have. No matter what they're going through. Appreciate. You can look around and you ain't gotta look around. Things can change. So, all them fries are good. I ate all of them. That's all I needed was a small. But it's just a reminder to, you know, he want me to remind them to just be thankful. And she even said it. She said, yes, but no, she said, yeah, so it's a shaking up of your world. I said, it is. Literally. And I told her, I said, it's like the Lord took that house we used to live in Tennessee, and he just shook it up. He shook, like he flipped the house upside down. It was just shake. He was just shaking up everything in it and the people that was in it. I'm gonna shake it up. You know how you shake up you know, you can shake up your salad that you buy from one of these restaurants. You know, you put your dressing on. My daughter showed me how to do it. So, Mama, this is how you do it. You put the dressing on the salad, and then you put the top back on it, and you just shake it up. That's what God was doing to us, shaking us up. He's still shaking us up. Yeah. And I'm here for the shaking, because to be honest, we need it to be shaken up. And, so many other people do too. You know, people, you get too comfortable. Comfortable doing your mess, doing stuff you don't need to be doing. And God said, it's for your good. It's for your good. Y'all, I don't really feel like going in this Walgreens getting no card, because it's just a whole nother thing. But I kind of want to get a card, because I don't want to just go in this place. You know, I don't want to go in there empty-handed. Because usually, when people say don't bring gifts, you know, people still bring a card. But I just wish I had did that when I first left the house. I'm totally don't feel like doing that now. I mean, I still need to go in Walgreens, because I need to get some tissue. We got I think, let's see, we got a case of water, but I need to get one more case. I always try to have an extra case. I need to get a case of water, and yeah, another Scotch. I love that Scotch tissue, so I need to get that. That's gonna be that'll be what, probably $25-$30. But yeah, I wish I had got that card. And I haven't even been to the Dollar Tree yet, but I wish I had gotten that card when I first left the house. Cause now I gotta go, you know, go in there and figure out which card to get, and which it ain't hard to get a nice card, but I just don't feel like doing that. Then I feel like it would be in order to get him a card, because it's his birthday. So I guess I'll go ahead and and do that. Yeah, it's not the dinner. I mean, it's not a dinner. It's like, I think they're only having cake and ice cream, but it's at a clubhouse. So I'm imagining, I haven't been to one in a while, but I'm imagining it's just people in and out, and it's gonna be tables in there. People gonna be sitting there and talking, because people gonna know one another. That's what I'm thinking. And then it's just, you know, hugging and saying hello, how you doing, whatever, hug, you know. And then it's not. That's all I'm gonna do, and I'm probably leave. But unless I see somebody I know, unless I see somebody from church I know, because I'm sure some of them will be there if they haven't already been there. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and go to Walgreens and yep, I ended up buying my car as soon as I bag got y'all. Oh, he going that way. I ended up buying. She didn't have. Oh, that was the other thing. So I always get in a bind, y'all, when I'm trying to, be helpful and stuff. And my late husband used to tell me about that. So why you always put yourself in those predicaments? But I started to think like, okay, Lord, do you even want me to do this? Because it ain't, it seemed like it wasn't working. But then it went smooth. It worked out. She didn't have. I don't keep cash on me, so I noticed that, of course, everybody else that was coming there, they were prepared. They had cash, but I did not. And so I asked her, I said, do you have Apple Pay? Or she said no. So I was like, oh. So then, because everything there was super cheap. And she said, but I have Venmo. And I said, okay. I didn't have Venmo loaded on my phone, but I did load it. And I figured out how to send her the $20, because I was struggling at first because I had to download it and all that other extra stuff. But it worked. It worked. And that just made me think I got to get that off my phone, because once I do the transaction, I delete that from my phone and I take my card off that app, because I don't even use that app. So I'm gonna go in Walgreens and get what I need, and then I'll be back. Okay, everybody, I'm back. I ended up getting the card, and I went ahead and should have showed y'all the card. And I got this. I was telling the girl, I don't even drink Mountain Dew that much, but I got a diet one. But I got what I always get, the Scott tissue. And I got some water. It's in the back. And I got this right here. I was telling her, I said, when I come in Walgreens, I said, I get stuff I wouldn't ordinarily get. she said I'm guilty too. And it's not, I love rice, but it's just, I don't know what it is about Walgreens. They make stuff look so appealing on those. It's that aisle, the food aisle. And I'm like, that look good. And in my mind, I'm thinking about something, I want to fix or something. So I'm like, Like, actually, with that rice, I still got some plant-based meat. So I may do that. And I got some fajitas. So I may put that on the fajita, like toast the fajita just a little bit. That sound like that'll be a little good. That'll be pretty good. So I might eat that later. I don't know what I'm gonna eat on the side with it, but I got some sweet potato fries, so I may eat that with it. But anyway, that sounds good. I may do that. But yeah, she said the same thing. She the cashier. She said, yeah. I said, when I'm putting the stuff on the shelf, she said, I'm the same way. She said, all that stuff looks so appealing. I said, it do. I said, now, I like rice, but I wouldn't buy that on my grocery list. I mean, not in that box. But it was only I think it was $2 or $3, so I was like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get it. And next weekend, I'm gonna do it today, but it'll be too early. She'll get it in time if I do it next weekend. I was gonna send my daughter her birthday card. But I don't even have her address, so I'm gonna need to have that before I send her card. But it'll get a week will be enough time if I send it next Saturday. Her birthday is not till the 26th, so that should be enough time for her to receive it. So I'm on my way to the clubhouse where they having his gathering at. I really wanted to go. It was just in my spirit so strong. The wife, she approached me last Sunday and she was like, did you get my email? And I said, yes, ma'am. And so, just to give you a little background, he's bound to a wheelchair, but such a beautiful spirit, and he always smiling. He just always smiling. I can't remember what caused him to be in a wheelchair, but God is just really keeping him. He's so peaceful, and like I say, he always got a smile on his face. And his wife, she was doing what what she's supposed to do. She's taking care of him. That's what the vows say. To death do us part, through sickness and in health, richer for poor, better for worse. So, or whatever the vows say about that. But yeah, she's living it out. So it's just a blessing. They at church every Sunday, and it's just, you just never know how things are gonna end up and what you're gonna have to do, before you leave this world. Let's see what this card gonna do. You never know what you're gonna have to, go through, before you leave here. But you just make the best of it. But she, every now and then she'll, come up to me. Like the last time she approached me and she said, and I'm assuming they've been married for a long time, because he's turning 80, and I think she may be pretty close to that. But she always, when I first started going there and she started talking to me and stuff, and she said, "How are you doing?" So she found out, about my late husband passing away. I said, "I'm doing okay." But y'all, I started to cry, because I'm like, gosh, it's something about when people ask you how you doing, and you seem like you was doing okay before they ask you how you were doing. But this been a while ago. But when she asked me that particular Sunday, I was just, I was so, let me get over because I'm supposed to turn. But yeah, it was just, I don't know, it was just in my spirit. I guess I needed to cry. But I always say, yeah, I'm doing okay. But a lot of times we got bottled up cries. We need to just let it out. That's what we need to do. I'm looking at my phone, y'all, because it's gonna tell me when I'm supposed to turn. But so yeah, they're a really nice couple. I don't know, like I said, I don't know how long they've been married, but that's where I'm going. And I don't know if today is his birthday, or it's already passed, or it's coming up. I'm not for sure. But she sent the invite through some emails, I guess, or whatever. Because she asked me for my email about 2 Sundays ago, and I gave it to her. And so she asked me last Sunday. She said, "Did you get the email?" So it's like she was wanting me to make sure I'm making sure you coming, or I want you to come. So I said, "Yeah, I got it." And so I said, "Okay, yeah, I gotta go." But sometimes people, they'll send you something, and sometimes they got so many other people they expecting to come, when you was just an invite. That's all it was. But I could tell it was more than that. She wanted to make sure I was gonna, be there. I said, okay. So it's just been in my spirit, and even my son, my youngest son, he said, "Mama, you going?" He said, "You going to that?" I said, "Yep, I'm going." So I feel like, to be honest, y'all, I feel like I need to get out more in a good way. When people invite you to stuff, I ain't got to go to everything, but like something like this, if it ain't in, I try to make sure if it's not in somebody's house or whatever, like a restaurant or whatever, like, okay, if I feel like I want to go, I can go. But I'm just a little leery about going to people's houses, when they always trying to get you over their house and stuff. But something like this, yeah, I can go to it. So that's where I'm headed now. For some reason, my directions don't stop. Maybe it's on down, but I feel like I thought it was in this area. Let's see what happens. But the only thing I like about these directions, they don't tell you at the last minute. They still on, because they just told me to turn. So okay, there it is. So turn. Okay, it's telling me to turn right. And of course, I can't get over. I'm gonna have to go down and come back. So many cars coming. Turn over to the right. to get over. People drive, seem like they drive even slower. I'm trying to ease. Well, wait a minute. Look like I made God let me get over. Thank you, Jesus. Look at God, y'all. Let me get over. Thought I was gonna have to go, turn left, and then come back. You know, go straight. Go back the way I need to go, but I get to turn left. So yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm excited about this. They say they're gonna have cake and ice cream. Cake and ice cream. So I was just wanting to go because I can always eat cake, but it's good when it's you don't have to pay for it. But like I said, it's almost 4 o'clock now, so because most people, you know, for stuff like this, they come on the front end. They come when it first starts. And then the people who, like me, I'm coming towards the end. And people like, oh yeah, I gotta go back and show my face. I gotta go back. Like almost like a, you know, a little kid's birthday party. And that's what me and my late husband used to do. Because I used to be like, a lot of times, you know, family members have stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to go. And mainly people on his side, because I knew how they were. They was sometime me, and you know, I didn't like it how they were. And then I'm like, but for whatever reason, you know, they would invite us to stuff, and for their children or whatever. And I used to always be trying to figure out how could I make up a good enough excuse not to go. But some of that stuff, I just didn't want to go. Not that I didn't have a gift for them. Not that I didn't, you know, antisocial. I love talking, love being around people. But I just did not want to go. And for what I just didn't, because I knew how they were, what type of person they were. But and then he would always say, he said, just go. You just go and show your face. You ain't got to stay that long. I'm like, but I don't want to go at all. I don't even want to, you know, put on clothes and go. I just don't even want to go. But a lot of times I will go ahead and go. Excuse me. But I went grudgingly. But yeah, he used to tell me that all the time. Y'all, I'm passing where I need to go. I'm in the subdivision, so let's see. I like it when the directions are super simple instead of, you know, like, okay, where do I go? Where do I go? They're, like I said, they're a real nice couple, so I wanted to. Which way did it tell me to go? Did it say turn right? They're a real nice couple, so I really wanted to go and I mean, show, you know, come and show my support. So it's at a clubhouse, so I'm trying to figure out where's the clubhouse. Let's see. These look like condos. What they look like. I think this is it right here. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is the clubhouse. I see the balloons. Okay. Looks like there's a lot of people here. Let's see. Where am I gonna park? We got a lot of parking. I guess this is the clubhouse. It looks like it is. And all the parking spaces taken, so where do I park? I don't know. Oh, people parking on, okay. They parking on the street, so. Well, I'm gonna wait till this. Oh, okay. You can park, I can park on the street. So that's what I do, I guess. I don't really like doing that because when you're in an unfamiliar place. But I'm gonna park in front of this car right here. Hopefully I won't. Well, this is a subdivision, so it should be okay. I'm part right here. Yeah, I'm on the other side of the clubhouse, so looks like that's what everybody else is doing. That's what they doing too. So I'm gonna do it too. And this ain't no way you can get no ticket or nothing, but it's like to obey the law. I'm gonna park right here. I'm gonna show my face. I'm gonna try to get a snippet of so the outside of the place before I go in, y'all. I'm gonna head in here so I can say happy birthday to him, because I don't think I'm gonna stay that long, but we'll see. Y'all know how I am. I love talking, so we'll see what happens. Okay, I'm back, y'all. That was really nice. I'm so glad I went. I think I only stayed in there maybe. Of course, I always end up talking to somebody, seeing somebody I know. So there was a lady from church. Well, quite a few people from church. That was really nice. I'm so happy, thankful that I went, and that was good. couple in front of me, they're getting in their car. But yeah, that was really nice. Nice gathering, plenty of room in there, and you know, to socialize and to get to know everybody. That was really nice. And it was plenty of cake. I don't know how I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. There's no outlet right there. Guess I go the way I came in. It was plenty of I didn't see anybody really. It was plenty of cake. You know, they had plenty of cake in there. It was already sliced and everything, which I think that's very thoughtful. Because most of usually the cake is already sliced anyway. But anyway, nobody was really getting any cake though. They were. I think I'm going back out the right way, y'all. Nobody was interested in the cake. They were just talking. And then it was a few people. It had a lot of tables and stuff, so a few people were just mingling. You could tell people knew each other and they were just talking or whatever. So some people like they were just camped out in there. Camped out. But that was really nice. I'm so happy I went, y'all. So happy, because that's what I'm talking about. You know, people, when they invite you to something, and I was telling his wife that she said, I'm so happy you came, and I said, yeah, of course. And so, but there was a time, like I said, I previously shared, you know, I could have cared less about going, you know, to something like that. But like I said, I told my children, I think I'm going the wrong way, y'all. I'm thinking I'm going one way, but I'm not going I should have went back. I should have went back left. I don't know where this road taking me. I think this may go to the highway. I need to turn around. This is what happened when I don't have my Google map on. But anyway, I think I can turn around down here somewhere. This may go out to where I think it's going out, but just not for sure. But yeah, it was maybe, when I was in there, it was maybe, I'm gonna say 50 people there or whatever, maybe a little bit more. But it was a pleasant atmosphere, and you can tell the wife, she had that all. Whoever helped her with that was really nice. And it's very elegant and just nice. Well, where they live is nice. Those are very nice. So they call them fourplexes, is what they're called. Looks like, to me, like a condo. But condos, but they're nice. They are really nice. So anyway, yeah, this came out where I thought it would. Okay. you, Lord. I think I just need to turn right. Where I'm at for sure. I always get turned around because some of these, well, I don't want to, nope, I want to go straight. So let me go straight. Yeah, I get turned around because some of these places I don't go a lot. You know, I don't come this way a lot. And I didn't mean to come this way. I don't want to go. This is more so towards the highway. I need to turn around. Don't get farther away from where I need to go. Let's see where this road takes me. I should have went, when I came out of that, where they live, I should have went back, should have went left instead of right. What I should have did. Let's see where this takes me. But anyway, yeah, it was just a really nice atmosphere, and everybody was very cordial. And on the way in, I saw the lady. Me and her love to talk. I saw her. Let's see where I'm at here. Club Road. I'm just gonna go straight. I think I need to. I don't even know where I'm at. I'm gonna go straight and I'm gonna turn around and go back the way I just come from, because I don't know where I'm at. I don't like when I don't know where I'm at. Colorado, some of these cities is so, you know, you can be in I can be in a real familiar place, but then it's like I don't know where I'm at, and that's why I always have my Google Maps on so I know where I'm going. But I was just cause see, the way I went into where they live, that I was just coming out of an area where I was familiar, you know, with the Walgreens and all that. So I'm going into a different area here. So I need to I'm gonna turn around. But yeah, I saw the lady, me and her daughter, we always talk every Sunday, and we've gone to lunch together after church. But I saw her I saw her husband outside, the mama. And then I said, oh, so the husband, I don't know if I guess he recognized me, but I sort of, you know, smiled at him. But he, I'm gonna turn around. I need to. Of course, when you're trying to turn around, you can't, because somebody always behind you. That's the rule. They're always behind you. They go in the same place you're going. I'm trying to turn around so I can get back where I need to be. I am not going the right way. But anyway, just gonna do a U-turn right here. Somebody always on your bumper, y'all, when you're trying to do that. Gosh, I'm gonna turn around. But anyway, so I saw him, the granddaddy, and the little grandsons. They were. I said, oh. And so the mama, the grandmama, she said, of course you're coming when I'm leaving. I said, I know, because we would have been in there talking up a storm, me and her. I know that to be a fact. We would have been talking. So anyway, I was able to talk to her a little bit when as she was leaving, and she told me about her daughter wasn't feeling good, so. Which is the one who I've gone out to lunch with. So I said, oh. So anyway, they had the boys, the grandboys, and her and her husband. So then I seen another lady who, I didn't really know her. Her name is Ann. I don't think I ever knew her name, but her and her husband was there. And I've talked to her at church a few times, but not like I did today, talking to her. It was more so, hey, how you doing, whatever. But me and her, we were talking for a while. We talked for like 20, 30 minutes. Yeah. And then I think those were the only two people that I recognized from church or knew from church. Everybody else looked like they were just either friends or maybe people who lived in that neighborhood. But yeah, it was quite a few people there. He had a lot of cards, and but like I said, they had a nice spread of food and stuff, but nobody was going over there. I didn't see nobody. I saw people eating cake, but she told me, she said, go get you some cake. And I actually wanted to get some cake, but I was like, well, I'm not going to do that. It's kind of weird eating cake and leaving. You do that if you're going to stay. So, but anyway, there was a lot of stuff. It looked like it was coffee over there, tea. it made it real because it lasts until 6, but and it's like almost 5 o'clock now, so it's almost over. But like I said, I almost got distracted and almost forgot to go because I would have been so whatever about that, because she was looking forward to me. Because some people, when they invite you somewhere, I've been around people like this all my life. When they invite you to something, they looking for you to be there, and that's what my late husband used to always say. He said they looking for you to come. And I said, yeah, they can look for me to come, but that don't mean I'm coming. Because like I said, a lot of those people, I didn't care for them. I didn't care for them like that. But some of the things I would go to, but not all of them. And like I said, it would just be how I would feel. If I woke up that day and I'd be like, you know what, I'm not going to that. And then he'd be like, you told them you was coming. I'm like, yeah. But yeah, the place I'm in now with the Lord, I tried to keep my word. And like I said, when we were talking last Sunday, she like genuinely came to me, and it was almost like, I'm looking for you to be there. It was almost like that. And see, a lot of them know I'm married. They know I ain't married. They know my children are grown, so they like, okay, it's almost like, what's your excuse? What else you got to do? So, you can't say, oh, my husband this or my whatever this. So it's like, you ain't got no excuse. So I told her, I said, I got to get out more. She's just nodding her head. So she real sweet. Both of them are real sweet, the couple. So I'm glad I took a card, because there was a lot of cards. I'm glad I did that. I bet some of them cards, because some of them cards had money in them. But it said on there, don't bring no gift, but still, that's the gift of love, putting something in a card. But I wasn't led to do that, so I didn't do it. I just gave him a nice card. So prayerfully, they'll be blessed from the card and what I wrote in the card. But that was really nice. So I feel good, y'all. I feel accomplished. I came out of my shell. I went my first outing. Well, not my first, but I did something different. But yeah, I almost missed that time because I was like, oh my gosh. And I told her, I said, I thought it was over at 4. She said, no, it's 6. I said, I know. I said, but for some reason I was thinking I had almost missed it. I mean, not that I almost missed it, but I was thinking, I was just thinking that, yeah, I thought I was almost missing it, but it's over at 6. And that's why I was like, I gotta get there. I have to, get there so I can take the card and show my face, show my love. So y'all, that's what I love about going and stuff like that, because I can stand alone, and the Lord always, that's just the type of the heart I have. I don't have to be around certain people, certain race or whatever. I can mingle with everybody. Me and that lady, we was just talking. She said, it was really nice talking to you. We just got in a conversation, because I'm trying to think, right? Oh, she was signing a card. It was a real big card to sign. I think she was over there signing that card. And then I'm trying to think, how did we get in that conversation? That's what I'm trying to remember. We just got in a big conversation about I don't know, y'all. We were talking about everything. She was talking about she was thinking about return, but I think she may be in her 60s or 70s. And then we were talking about just how beautiful everything was, the place, and then we were talking about the area where the clubhouse was at. We were just talking about everything. And then she was telling me about I know it was too. She was saying, I think that's what initiated the conversation. I said, yeah, everything is so nice and beautiful, and And she said, yeah, so she said, I think she said she would love to live in that area or something. And so then we got on houses and stuff, and then I told her about, because I've never shared with her about my testimony. And she said, what happened? Said, yeah, we all got sick, and I always tell what happened. And because, you know, people just see you, but we all got a story. We all have a testimony. And, you know, unless people choose to share it with you, unless they, you know, they just, you know, God put it on their heart to do that, they don't have to do it, you know? They just really don't. But I'm thankful when God allows me to do that, because I want to witness. You know, I'm always looking for an opportunity to witness. You know, I ain't looking for no confrontation. I ain't looking for no, you know, trying to go somewhere and, you know, where my people at and all that stuff. No, I'm looking to be a blessing. I'm looking to be blessed. You know, that's just me. That's just me. But and I feel like that's how God wants all of us to be. You know, quit going into places making it all about you. You know, and like I said, that's one thing about me. I used to tell my late husband, I said, you know, right during COVID, or when everybody was, you know, recovering from that, you know, when everything started opening back up and stuff, and it was quite a few times back in Tennessee, I was going to church by myself. And the children didn't want to go, and my late husband, he didn't want to go. He, you know, he was like, I'm just all churched out, because, you know, I feel like he knew. Something's getting ready to happen. I don't know if he knew he's getting ready to die, but I believe he knew something was getting ready to happen in that house. And so it's like God was preparing him spiritually, because he even stopped wanting to do a lot of stuff we used to do. You know, like, you know, just sit around and just laugh or whatever, and just laugh about just silly stuff. It's like he just was in another place. Yeah. But God was preparing him to lead this world. And so, but anyway, yeah, it was quite a few Sundays. I would just get up and get ready, and see right there, thank you, Jesus, the Holy Spirit. I didn't even realize that, but God, I was telling the lady at the yard sale, God was using me even then He's preparing me. You know, you're gonna have to, sometimes you're gonna have to stand alone. You're gonna stand alone, and you're gonna have to be okay with it. Because I was, I know the children went with me on Mother's Day to one of those churches. They went with me, and I was sort of begging them too, but they went with me that Sunday, that Mother's Day. That was Mother's Day of 2021. They went with me, and I was so happy. I was just cheesing from ear to ear that they went with me. But I'm supposed to turn right there, y'all. I'm going straight. Well, I can go. No, I want to go straight. So yeah, but it was times where I was having to just get up and get ready and go by myself. But God was teaching me then, you're gonna have to stand alone. You're gonna have to stand alone, and that's what I did. I did it. I didn't really want to do it, but you know, I sort of didn't have a choice because you know, didn't nobody want to go with me. And I come home from church. This is when I was in Tennessee. I come home from church and I'd be like, ooh, that was a good church service, you know. He'll just kind of wouldn't say nothing or whatever. My late husband, and then the kids, Mom, where you going to that church for? You know, because you know they were so used to me doing what I always did. But I'm like, I said, children, it's gonna come a time where you're gonna have to come at your comfortable place. And look where we at now. You gotta come out of that place. Quit trying to be comfortable. You know, doing stuff that you don't even need to be doing. God wants us to come out of that mess. And He's calling a lot of people out of just stuff we've been doing for years. Ain't none of it biblical. Ain't none of it right. We're just doing it just because we can do it. He said it's time that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be. I said, you only old as you feel. And I said, I was invited, so I'm going. And she literally though, y'all, she was so, the wife, she was so happy that I could tell she was genuine about that. Cause see, we see each other every Sunday. And she said, I'm so glad you came. I said, me too. Me too. But I could tell, I hugged her, well, I let her know I was leaving. But yeah, I could tell, she really was looking for me to come. I could tell. Because, you know, some people invite you somewhere, and like I said, they got, you know, there's just so much going on. They don't care if you come or not. You know, let's just be honest. They don't even care. But I could tell she was looking for me to come. She was looking for me to come. And I ain't saying it was all about me, but she was looking for me to be there. She was. I'm so thankful I went. I didn't want her, you know, looking at me sideways tomorrow. Well, she would not. She would not have, but still. You know, you just don't want to have that uncomfortable thing, like, because, you know, the thing about that, like I said, when somebody's genuine and they want you to do something, you may not get that chance again, you know, to do something like that. So it's everything for you to follow through and do what you said you was going to do. But you may not get that chance again, you know. And that was the only chance that you was going to get to do that. So, yeah, I'm thankful. So it says 72 degrees here. It's a pretty day today. It's just a little windy, but it feels good. It feels real good. So I'm gonna, y'all, I got a taste for some Chick-fil-A ice cream. I gotta do better, y'all. I don't eat a lot though. I do not eat a lot, but I feel like I need to eat better. I'm trying. I really am trying. But I need to, when I fast, you know, and I just eat certain stuff, that helps me a lot. It helps me a lot. Because I'm making myself, okay, I can't eat that. But when I'm not fasting, you know, I'm just eating. But I don't just sit up and just chug down this junk. That's what I was telling that lady. She's telling me about her husband. They have to eat better. And she said, I said, yeah. She was talking about diabetes, and I told her, I said, yeah, that's true. I said, when you made to do it, you ain't got no choice, because you wanna live, you know, you wanna whatever. But I just feel like I just have, you know, I just want certain stuff, and I don't want it all the time. But when I'm out and about, and I gotta pray about that. When I'm out and about, I want Chick-fil-A. I want their ice cream, and I want their fry. And that's all I want. You know, it ain't like I want a big steak dinner. I don't even eat steak anymore. But it ain't like I'm wanting something big. But it's just, that's what I want. That's what I be wanting to have a taste for. I'm good. I just love, it's just certain little stuff. It's like little, you know, it's little stuff like that I just want. And I always get the ice cream in a cup. I mean, it's a cone, but I tell them to put it in a cup. And I get that in the fry and the tea. And that's all I get. And I should have gone. I actually can go to the Chick-fil-A that's by the house. I'm gonna go to that one instead of this one, because this one is sort of out of the way. But one thing I need to do, y'all, is buy me some more earrings. I have a bunch of earrings, but I had so many more. When it seemed like before we moved here, I had a bunch of earrings, but I don't know what happened to all of them. And when I go in the stores here, unless you go, like when I go in Ross, I be wanting to buy some more, you know, but I want to look for earrings in there, but for some reason I never think about it when I'm in there. And then like I noticed the Dollar Tree, they sell earrings, but theirs are mostly gold. I don't like gold earrings. I like silver. But I mean, I wear gold. But yeah, I just noticed, I'm like, I need some more, like some new earrings. But I have some at home, but I just like the silver because it's so shiny and pretty. And it looks pretty when when y'all all fixed, done up, dressed up. So yeah, it's nothing else. I'm gonna stop at this, since I'll be up here by the Dollar Tree. I'm gonna stop at this Dollar Tree. I'm gonna head home. I don't have anything else to. I don't have anything else to get. Cause I got my back seat is full. Y'all, I just want to thank the Lord for being gracious and merciful to me. Because like I said, I continue to think about that accident, and I know I keep bringing it up, but that's just how grateful I am. That could have really went bad for us. That could have cost me. I could have had to go to physical therapy. I could have been hurt real bad. I could have, my daughter could have got hurt real bad. The people in the other car could have got hurt real bad. It could have just went a whole different way. But God, He kept us. He literally kept us in His hands, and He didn't cause us to get hurt. He didn't. And I shared that with the women Bible study last Sunday, and they were like, "That's good." The one lady, she was talking about she was in a wreck and how. Cause I've heard some bad. I've been in wrecks before, so I know how they can go bad. But she was saying something about. She was like, "Yeah." I think she said when she usually in a wreck, or the last one she was in or whatever, and she said she's talking about how such a ordeal or whatever, and I said, yeah. I said there was barely any damage to the car. It ain't no damage to this car, just a scratch really, and a little bitty itty bitty dent that you can barely see, and that's it. And their car didn't have no damage on it, but a scrape at the bottom from the tire scraping up against it. That's it. But yeah, I'm just so thankful because life could have been lost in there. It could have really been bad. But God. But like I said, it taught me to be alert, to be careful, to be more alert and more careful when I'm driving. And I felt like I was careful before. But God said, now be even more careful. Be even more careful now. And that's what I'm trying to be. Because, it ain't about me or you being the best driver. It's about looking out for the other driver. That's what it's about. That's what it's all about. You got to be mindful of, you ain't the only car on the road. Let's just be honest. With other cars, you got to look out for them. They turning, and sometimes they don't even have a turning signal on, but you just got to be mindful. And if I was telling my daughter, my youngest daughter, I said, you got to be, you got to pay attention to everything. It ain't just about you. It ain't never been about you, about us. It's about Jesus. But when you're on the road, you got to be looking out. You got to be alert. And that's what they don't teach you when you're taking that driving test. They don't teach you about that. You got to be looking out for I don't even know if it may say it now, but I don't remember it saying it when I was taking mine. You got to be alert. You got to be the eyes for yourself and others. People that's walking, people that's riding bikes, whatever. You got to be so cautious. But God kept us. Yes, He did. We continue to do it. So I was trying to think what I'm gonna fix them. Supposed to turn right, y'all. I always do that, and it's hard. hard to get in back over in that right lane because they will not let you over. So can I get over? Let's get in front of this car real quick. Yeah, I think I can. Oh, the car was turning, so that worked out. Thank you, Lord. What was I gonna say? So yeah, trying to think what I was gonna fix them for. I mean, I don't have to cook them nothing for Sunday dinner. I mean, I don't have to do that, but they like it when I do it. You know, they'll eat it because it's in there. But my son was like, Mom, you don't have to do that. And I'm like, yeah, but y'all sure be eating it though. Y'all sure eat it. And you be looking for me to fix something. So I may surprise them and fix. That's something that I haven't cooked in a long time. It's meatloaf. If I go ahead and put it on tonight, it'll be ready. I mean, all they have to do tomorrow is warm it up, reheat it, and make that for them and get some macaroni and cheese. Cause it's just them two, and my, get that for them. I don't eat that. I don't eat meatloaf, so fix that for them. Get mac and cheese, and they love mac and cheese. But get that. I always get that Bob Evans in that container. All I really need is one. I don't think I need two of those. I just get one. Because when I get two, they don't eat all of it. Well, I may get two. So I get two of those and then get the meatloaf and the stuff to make it. Maybe get some rolls. That's it. Yeah. Trying to think, what do I normally fix with the meatloaf? Sometimes I do green beans. But yeah, I could fix that for them. And they'll have that when they get out of, after church tomorrow. Like I said, all they have to do is, reheat it. I don't have to make like a really big one, because it's just them two that's gonna eat it. But my son, he loved devouring that, because they when I fixed it when we were in the other condo, when I would fix it, they would demolish that meatloaf. And I didn't actually start making meatloaf until I think after my husband passed away. That's when I really started like perfecting it. But I haven't made one in a long time. I'll be back, y'all. Let me check my account. Okay, I'm back, y'all. So I got my tea here. You see, when I get home, I ain't gonna want much, because I've been munching. But this is what I consider a snack, because I mean, it ain't even that much food. Fries, and I mean, it ain't that much, but, and then I always get the ice cream. She said, well, y'all heard her. She said, do you prefer just to get the ice cream in the cup instead of, because I always say put it in a cone. I mean, get a cone and turn it upside down in the cup. And she said it'll be a lot easier. And I said, yeah, we can do it that way. So I'm like, I'm okay with that. They didn't give me no napkins, y'all. It's okay. So this is my second fry for today, y'all. I just love potatoes. But I'm trying to think what I'm gonna get out of the Dollar Tree. I know I'm gonna get the puppy some treats. I know that. He was so good all last week. Well, he always good. But I'm gonna get, and this is my first Polynesian sauce, y'all. But I just like to dip. I like to dip my fry in my, I'm sure everybody else like doing that too, but it's just certain stuff I like to eat. My daughter knew I was eating it. She'll have a fit. She love Chick-fil-A. But I'm like, can mama enjoy something? Because I feel like, you know, when you working and, you know, you work, I do. I work hard. I work real hard on my job. and I do what I'm supposed to do. I'm always, giving and, do my best to be responsible and do what I'm supposed to do in my job. And I'm like, I look forward to Friday night, and I look forward to, Saturday morning. I look forward to Saturday and Sunday because I'm like, whew, I don't have to go nowhere if I don't want to. I'm just free. I'm not bound by no job. Do what I want to do. Love it. Even though Saturday go by so fast, and I'm learning it goes a little slower when I don't go anywhere. But when I do, it goes by fast. Anyway, I'm trying to see what these people over here to the left doing. They got little children. It's like a little jump park or something. So they feel like they're taking them to that. Anyway, I'll drop some in my pants. Them days for me are over. But I was telling lady at work, a patient, I said, I actually miss those days. She was laughing. And I said, no, I do. And so I miss that. I said, because, we rush stuff to, things to happen, and then after they don't happen, it's like, I miss that, I don't know if y'all feel like that, but that's the way I feel. But I'm thankful too that they've grown and they can do for themselves. So yeah, what I'll probably get at the Dollar Tree is just the dog treats and a few household items, and that's probably it, because we got plenty of soap and toothpaste and stuff. I may get some more washing detergent, laundry detergent. I may get some more of that. But that's about it. That's about it. We stocked up on everything else, and I'll wait till I get home. Well, I may do the Instacart before when I get to the Dollar Tree, because I like it's so fulfilling and rewarding to already have that stuff at your house. So I may do that before I get home, so it'll be on its way. So look like they switching. She giving the daughter giving the children to grandma. But yeah, she's taking the whole car seat out. Keeping the children. I remember doing that because my late husband, he said, why you want to keep a baby the whole weekend? That's when the youngest grandson, that's when he was a baby, and I was like, ooh. He's staying out here because I would pick him up. I would be doing just what they doing. I pick him up and met him at the skating rink that Friday night. My daughter-in-law, she give me all his stuff. You know, he had a diaper bag packed up or whatever. He was like then. He was like maybe 3-4 months, something like that. He was little. And I put take pictures of him, post them on Facebook. That's when I was on Facebook. That was so fun for me. It was so much fun. Cause I mean, that's what I wanted to do it. But then they started taking advantage of me. Cause they saw that I enjoyed doing it. So even my late husband, he noticed that. He said, He said, let them keep their own children. He said, let them keep their own children. And I said, well, they not bothering me. We ain't doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing. But yeah, he peeped that way before I did. And he said, He said, they using us. But they were using me. They weren't using him because he didn't ask to keep children. I did. And then I felt like, you know, they weren't using me because I wanted to keep them. I wanted to keep, you know, my grandson. So I felt like I wasn't being used because I wanted to do it. But yeah, he didn't like that. Yeah. He said, what you doing is teaching them how to be irresponsible. Yeah, he didn't agree with that at all. But at the time, y'all, I was a people pleaser. I was really a people pleaser then. And I just wanted to do stuff so people would be fine with me, you know, okay with me. Instead of, you know, being myself and, you know, doing what I need to do for myself. When the scales got lifted off my eyes, when I seen what they was doing, because it came a time I was like, yep, they are taking advantage of me, because they started, you know, I would keep the baby, and then they wouldn't have enough, the baby wouldn't have enough Pampers or whatever, so we had to spend, you know, which was okay, but they wasn't even being responsible with that. So he said, see, his favorite words, I told you. And then they wanted, that's when, I don't know if they still do it, but that's when they were going out a lot, clubbing. And he said also you giving them an opportunity to be, that's what he's meant by irresponsible. He said, you're giving them an opportunity to go and do what they want to do. He said, you know, just because I said, well, you know, we're not doing that. We're just sitting at home. And he said, yeah, but them not your babies. Them are your grandchildren. And he said, you don't have to do that. And I said, well, I want to. But like I said, how I knew they was taking advantage of me, they would text me or call me. It'd be random. And then it was like, you know, then I started, you know, I was making up in my mind, you know, I got something to do. And so they'll call me and they'll say, well, you know, can you keep the baby? And I'd be like, well, you know, I got such and such to do. There's too much ice cream now. I'd be like, yeah, I got such and such to do. But I felt sort of guilty because I really did want to keep the children. I mean, the baby. Because it was just him I was keeping. But, you know, it made me feel some type of way. You know, I'm like, well, they call me, you know, I got something to do now. You know, because it was quite a few times I had something to do. And so they, you know, they didn't, they were just always looking for me to be free. And because, like I said, my late husband, he didn't really care for doing that. he loved the baby and everything, but he was like, let them keep the armchair. I said, yeah, but the babies are so precious. And then as my grandson started getting older, I wouldn't keep him as much then, because he was where he could run around and stuff. But yeah, there's so much stuff I've had to go through and deal with, and people doing crazy stuff. That's why here I don't have to deal with none of that stuff. That's why I was telling the lady in Dollar Tree. I was telling the lady at the garage sale, I said, I feel so free now, because I don't have to deal with none of that mess no more. I feel good. Yeah, I miss them. I miss all of them. Of course I do. But I don't have to deal with their mess. And I was thinking about calling them, but like I said, every time I call them, it's the same old. They don't never genuinely care, want to know how we doing. It's always it's the same conversation, y'all. It's so so predictable. Y'all doing okay? That's good. God is good. Which he is. He's great. But it's always the same. It's the same talk, same response. And then I be trying to, like, I don't really give out a lot of information. But then, the conversation, then it goes from, it switches gears. So the conversation goes from, okay, so they okay out there in Colorado. They left us, they okay. Then it goes to bad news. It goes to, they'll tell me about somebody died, or they'll tell me about it'll just be some bad news, because when I was talking to my mom more, but God told me to quit doing that so much because they was talking about me. So he said, just take a break. But when I would talk to them, and I'd be like, well, how's auntie whoever, I'm asking about different other family members, and so it's always be bad news, just they got sick with such and such, which that it's true, but I'm like, can you not overwhelm me with all this bad news? Nothing positive. It's always bad. It's either death or just bad news. I'm like, gosh. And then they get through doing that. Then the conversation is switch gears again. So now I got you comfortable. Or that's what they think. They got me comfortable. I'm talking to them, and okay, everything seems to be back to normal. Okay, they doing okay out there in Colorado. Then it switched gears to, they start sort of saying what they want to say to me. When y'all coming back? It's just, the conversation switches so much, y'all. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why did I make this call? So that's why I don't call them. It's always the same. And my father-in-law, he had asked us, when we were staying in that other condo, he was like, when y'all coming back? I'm like, we ain't even got settled here. We ain't even got adjusted here. But that's how I know, y'all, when people, they don't listen to anything you say. They just hear what they want to hear. They got selective hearing. And it's, you know, if somebody come to me and tell me that God told them to relocate or whatever, I'm gonna respect every bit of that. I'm like, okay, you make sure you do what God told you to do. That's gonna be my response. Not when y'all coming back, you know, trying to get that person to go against what God told them to do. That's why I don't call them. That's why I don't call them. They don't make me a bad person. They make me a smart person. Because they don't be talking about nothing. And I miss talking to them and all of that, but I don't miss how they are. And you know, some people just they want to talk to you. They ain't talking to you to check on you. They talking to you, see if you're doing bad. We're trying to see how bad you're doing. And then it's like, okay, they doing bad. Because like when we were staying with that lady from church, there was so much giddiness in my mama voice, and it's like not happy, but not sad either. Yeah, that ice cream never disappoints. Never. It's always so good. But, and that's the ice cream you don't really want to, well, I don't really want to eat with like cookies in it, because it's already sweet. You know, it's sweet. So I don't want to eat that with I don't want to eat that with nothing else sweet. I don't want to eat no cookies with that. That's why I always like getting the ice cream cone, because that kind of tones down that sweetness that cone do. But that's why I always like getting the cone with it. But I'm trying to see, can I show y'all the picture here? It's a big picture. She put it, the woman who sold it to me, she put it where, it's upside down, y'all. I don't think, y'all can't, yeah, it's upside down. I have to wait till I get out the car to, it's kind of heavy too. I don't know where I'm gonna put that either. I could put it in my bedroom, but actually that's sort of like that's the living room picture. That's what that is. Should be in the living room area. So yeah, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying, y'all. So yeah, that's why I don't, you know, I don't have a conversation for them, because they don't. And then, you know, it's like when you're talking to them, everything you're saying going over their head. They don't even, you know, understand what you're telling them or nothing. And they don't want to hear, you know, they don't really want to hear that you're doing good. Oh yeah, thank you, Jesus. So that's what I was saying. So when we was living with the lady from church, you know, but my mom, I heard, she said, yeah, you know, what's wrong with, she said, I think she said somebody had asked her something. And she was like, yeah, she told them that's a good setup, you know, where, she was talking about me, where I didn't have to pay rent or mortgage. I just paid the lady, you know, what I paid her, and I didn't have to worry about utilities or anything like that. But I'm like, all of that was, you know, went towards that, the utilities, what I was paying her, because it wasn't no small amount of money I was paying her. But you know, I was helping her. She needed help. I was helping her. But yeah, my mom, she was acting like, you know, yeah, I was, but you know, like I said, the Lord revealed that to me. As much as people talk to you, they talk about you. And you know, you thinking people in your corner, and you thinking people, you know, oh, they for me, you know, but they all the while they against you. All the while they're against you, and they don't mean you well or nothing. Um, they don't mean you well at all. They just trying to, I'm finna move, y'all. It's so, wherever, I don't care where I don't care where I park, y'all. It's, which they were already here, but it's just always a great gathering around wherever I'm at. So I'm moving a little closer to the Dollar Tree. But I can walk over here. But yeah, people don't, they didn't want to hear what we were having to go through. Excuse me, because it was almost like, that's what y'all get. Y'all shouldn't have left here. Why did y'all leave us? You know, not why did you leave the city? Why did you leave us? That's basically what was going on. And it was, so that's what happened when you don't do what you're supposed to do. Y'all didn't do what we told y'all to do. Y'all should have stayed here with us and not do nothing and not grow. You should have stayed here. You know, should have stayed in your mess. So yeah, but I got right by the door. I don't like many people here at the Dollar Tree today, but it's sort of later. It's 5:35, so everybody headed home now. But usually I come here earlier. Usually I come here around 2 or 3. But anyway, I want to finish talking about this. So yeah, but yeah, I was talking to her, you know, telling her this, that, and the other. But the Lord told me to quit talking to them because they are talking about me as soon as they hang up the phone. And they calling me dumb and stupid and all of that. You know, just saying that I ain't in a good place in my head. So I quit talking to them too. I did. And I haven't talked to my mom. I haven't talked to them since the end of last year, I think. Because last time I talked to my mom was when my cousin passed away. So she passed away in December of last year, and that was the last time I talked to my mom. And she texted me, but that was the last time I had actually spoke to her on the phone. But yeah, I'm doing my best, y'all, to be obedient to Jesus, because like I said, a lot of times we think we're doing right and we're doing wrong. And what I mean by that, we think that, you know, we doing a service by, you know, kissing up to people, and because that's how I felt when I first moved here. I missed them so much, and I was calling them and I missed them. You know, of course I did. You know, we had, I'm like finna tea that splattered, y'all. I missed them so much, and I said, you know, and I was homesick. I was all of that. And I know Jesus knew he knew all that was going to happen. He knew what I was going through. But I had to learn. I had to learn the hard way, because, like I said, he literally revealed that to me. They were talking about me. And they were saying that I wasn't right in the head and all type of stuff. But you know, when I was on the phone with them, you know, oh, I'm proud of you. You did what you did. They never really referenced about Jesus. Because they didn't, then that was another thing, indicator. The Lord was revealing to me. They didn't even believe what you said. You know, listen to the conversation. You know, don't be so homesick and be so into talking to them and trying to people please them that you're not paying attention to what they saying. They don't even believe that I told you to leave. You know, they're not there in their relationship with me. So, you know, he revealed all of that to me, y'all. He's still revealing stuff. But that's why when the Lord tell you to do something, quit trying to get man's approval. Quit trying to, you know, get them to stamp what he told you to do. You don't have to get them to approve what he told you to do. And what it's a saying. It say God didn't say what he told you to do. It wasn't a conference call. He told you to do it. He didn't tell everybody else to do it. So just do what he tell you to do. And you're going to be blessed from it. But I'm so thankful that I obeyed him. That's what I was telling the lady at the garage sale. I said, I'm so thankful. And I know that was God. God wanted me to tell her that for whatever reason. But she even said it. She said, you inspired me today. And then when I was telling her, I was just sharing with her about the fasting that God had me to go on, the Daniel fast, before my late husband passed away. And she said, I think she said something about she needed to hear that. Because, you know, a lot of times, y'all, more than we realize, the fasting, and it ain't about, I was listening to something, I think it was last week, and that brought some attention. I mean, that brought some light to me, to my heart. And it said, you know, we think we want to fast. It's okay, if I fast, the guy gonna open this door for me, or he gonna do this, do that. That's not what fasting is for. Fasting is for you to grow closer to Jesus. You know, fasting is for you for strongholds to be lifted off of your soul. It ain't for, okay, if I fast, I'm gonna get some money. If I fast, because that's where I was, y'all. That's where I was for a while, and that's why I'm so whatever about fasting now, because I want God to tell me to do it, and I want to be led by Him to do it. I don't want just to do it, you know. I want to make sure it's led by the Holy Spirit, because in that leading, He gonna bless me in a mighty way, you know. So that's the place we got to get in. But yeah, that got my attention, that video. I was watching a YouTube video, and it said, you know, quit fasting for God to, you know, okay, if I do this, He gonna do that. No, you're supposed to be doing it to get closer to Him. That's the whole purpose of that. It ain't for him to do something. He ain't no genie in no bottle. It's for you to draw closer to Him. That's what it's for. It's for you to grow. So y'all, I'm gonna go ahead in the Dollar Tree and get the dog some treats, and I'm trying to think what else I need out of here. I like their canned goods, but some of their canned goods don't be good. They don't taste good to me. That's why I'm like, I'd rather get some stuff from the grocery store. What else? Oh, I was gonna get some more. We got enough. I'm gonna get some more laundry detergent, because I got a little one, but I feel like I need a bigger one. And then I think what else, y'all? We don't. That's what I'm saying. We blessed. All of us are blessed. We don't. It's just I can't even think of nothing we need, because we got cleaning stuff. I may get some more Ajax, and I just can't think of. I got where I don't really like to buy fish like I used to from here. Like I was getting the fish sticks. They're good, but I may get a box of those, but those ain't really good like they used to. Now what I will do, whenever I take a notion and want to eat those, I'll put them on just some some white bread. I prefer white bread, and I make my own slaw, and then I'll eat it, like a fish sandwich like that. I put two fish sticks on a piece of bread, and that's good with slaw, and slaw, mustard, and ketchup. Really, I don't put a lot of ketchup on it, but yeah, that tastes good when I do that. So I may get a box of those. Those are $3 or $5, and I've sort of quit making my smoothies, because I just quit doing them. I was making them a lot, but I haven't made a smoothie in a while. So I ain't buying no more fruit out of here, frozen fruit. But I learned with the frozen fruit, it tastes good. You can just, I still got some in the freezer, but I don't have to put it in the smoothie. Make a smoothie out of it. I can just put it in the, throw it out a little bit, and it tastes good just eating it out the bag. I mean, it tastes good. So I've been doing that with my yogurt, and then putting some granola on it. That's a good little snack where it keeps me from eating sweets at night. And yeah, that's it. I don't think I need nothing else out of here. So I get a few cleaning supplies, and we got soap, we got toothpaste, and I think that's about it. I'm just gonna look around for the most part. So I'll take y'all with me. it's from the storm. It was sunny at first, and then sun went down. There was a man in there. Him and his, I don't know if it's his daughter or girlfriend. I don't know what's going on, but he came back in there. They was in the line in front of me. They checked out in front of me, and so he came back in. He said, "I need a fire starter." So sometimes, you know, people use those for candles or whatever, different things. I'm thinking is what they wanted it for. But anyway, he came back in there. So the young lady at the cash register, he said, "Where are your?" She said, "I don't know." And so he said, "I know they right up under where you're at. They're on the thing below you. I bought them in here before." So then he told me. I said, "Hey," and he said, "Yeah, they don't keep them out on the floor anymore because people were stealing them." And so I was like, "Oh." But anyway, the young lady, she didn't know. I guess she had never been asked about nobody buying those, because she didn't know. Because she called her manager, you know, called the manager on the phone. So anyway, I don't think the manager came. They told her or whatever on the phone. And so anyway, he ended up getting what he needed. But yeah, he was adamant about that. He was very adamant about buying that fire starter thing. That's not what it's called. It's called it's something like you know, it ignites. It's a light, a fire that comes out of it, but you have to ignite it. But that's not what it's called. But it's just that's for lack of a better word. But he said he was referring to it as fire starter. So anyway, yeah, they had the cigarette lighters and everything up under there, up under the cash register. So he said, yeah, he said, and I told him, I said, oh, that's true. He said, yeah, he said they used to keep them out on the floor, you know, where you could get to them. But he said now they keep them behind the cash register. He said, I guess people were stealing them. And so I was like, I wonder why they were stealing those. But because they would be, and now that I think about it, yeah, he right. They would be in the when you checking out, they would be on those aisles right there when you were like in the line to pay for your items. They'd be hanging up in that aisle, the checkout lane. So yeah, he right. Cause I was like, oh my. So learning something new every day. Y'all, I'm still hungry. That's what I'm saying. That's the only thing about. I was looking at a video about that. That's the only thing about eating. You know, when you don't really eat healthy. Because I could have eaten, if I had eaten probably, just a full meal, whatever it would have been, you know, veggies and bread or whatever, roll, I'll be fine. But that's the other downside of just eating what you're craving, because like I'm still hungry and I feel like I haven't even eaten anything. Only thing I've had is two fries and ice cream. That's all I've had, and I don't even feel full. So, and they were both small fry. Well, one was medium, but I'm still hungry. So I'm gonna wait till I get home. I said I was gonna do that. I said I was gonna order the stuff, but I'll wait till I get home. So they probably have already eaten. But I was trying to already have the stuff on this way, you know, from Instacart, so it'll be there, almost be there when I get there, so I can start cooking. But I gotta, I'm not gonna be able to do my bedding tonight like I was able to do it last Saturday, because I had been off all week, so I was able to have done it then. But I have to wash my bedding when I get out of church tomorrow, because it's too late now. Because by the time everything dries and all that, it's gonna be I'm not waiting for that, because it takes a while for that comforter to dry and all that. So yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. And then what else? Trying to think what else I was gonna do. Oh, I gotta shampoo my hair and get it tied up and stuff. And then I got 2 videos I want to make before I lay my head to pillow. And I just thought about that, y'all. I ain't even did my short. 6 o'clock. I always do my short. I've totally lost track of time. Because I've been, one thing what threw me off, I went to that birthday gathering. That's what sort of threw my Saturday off. Because I'm normally, 6 o'clock, I'm normally at home by now. I don't, but I'm trying to think what happened there. Where did I lose track of time at? Because I went there, but I was only there. I wasn't even there an hour. Maybe I was there an hour. But prior to that, what was I? Oh, I went to that yard sale, so that probably, I think that sort of threw my whatever off too. But yeah, I'm like, what am I missing? Because I haven't even uploaded my short today. That's why a lot of times I like to go ahead and go ahead and make the video and then upload it, but that's okay. I'll get it uploaded. But yeah, I was like, gosh, it's 6 o'clock. Because yeah, normally I'm at home by now. I usually, when I'm out and about on any other Saturday, I'm at home no later than 4:30. I don't think I've ever been out this late. But yeah, that birthday gathering sort of threw everything off, because that was something I normally don't do. But I didn't stay there that long. And I went there at 3:30 too, around 3 or so. So maybe that was what happened, because normally I would have been headed home. But I went there, and then after I left there, I went to, that's when I started doing my little stuff that I normally do. Or went to the Dollar Tree, and I went and got me the Chick-fil-A, and I sat there and ate. So yeah, that's where the time went. Cause I'm like, what happened? But it's okay. I got nowhere to go in the morning but to church. So I hope y'all have enjoyed this vlog. I'll upload this later tonight. But it's 2 videos I want to upload. I may just be able to upload one. But it's 2. It's one in particular I know I'm gonna make time to upload. And I should have uploaded it earlier, but I'm gonna get it uploaded so I can get it on my channel. Get it on the channel tonight. When I set my mind to doing something, I gotta do it. Y'all. I don't wanna not do it. So it's in my spirit to share. But I'm gonna wait till I get, I'll wait till I get in the house to do that one. Those 2, but my short, I'll get ready to upload that one here in a minute. But yeah, it's like, what happened to the time? Time went by so fast. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Saturdays. It's just like, the Saturday is like a blur, literally. I mean, it just goes by so fast. And like, I can get up late, I can get up super early, don't matter, midday. It just goes by so fast. My gosh, it's all, the day is pretty much over. It's it ain't over, but it's nighttime now, 6 o'clock, which is okay. But it's like, gosh, how did time go by so fast? And then tomorrow, that's when I kind of don't like to. That's what I'm saying about that women's Bible study. I like that. I'm in a prayer meeting, but it's like, it's sort of, and which is okay, but it sort of takes away from my little normal stuff I do, which I don't do anything after church. But it just, because I'm getting home at, normally I get home around 11:30 or 11-ish. But I'm getting home at almost 1, because I think I stopped somewhere after church last Sunday. So I got home, it was like 1 something. I'm like, gosh. And there go the day. It starts going away right there. So, but it's okay. I don't really have a lot to do. I don't have any like pressing to do, but I just like to enjoy my Sundays. Because back when my late husband was living, we all would take naps after we got out of church. This is something we look forward to. Watch a movie and take us a nap. And we get ready for Monday. That's what we did. The kids didn't really take a nap, but they would go up in their room and get on their phones or tablets or whatever, watch TV. But the house was just so quiet and peaceful, because everybody, would be resting. Y'all see how it look? I don't know if y'all can see, but yeah, it's like it's in a storm. That's why I'm gonna hurry up and get home, because I don't want to be driving in the rain. My son washed the car. I got such a good son, y'all. My youngest son, he washed his car earlier. And it needs to be, tell him, I'm gonna get him to vacuum it out tomorrow when I get out of church. But I could do it myself, but he do such a good job because he work at a car place. So I like when he do it. I try to keep it clean if I can. But it ain't dirty. It's just where it just needs to be vacuumed out. So I pray you all having a beautiful, blessed day in the mighty name of Jesus. I pray you always hear Jesus speaking through me and never me. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Pray that you were able to be a blessing to somebody today. You were already blessed when Jesus woke you up this morning. I love you, but remember, Jesus loves you so much more. And y'all, the best is still yet to come for you and for me. God bless you. God keep